Greetings once again, this is Professor Theo Williams. I just want to give you this brief video to reiterate some of the things from the syllabus in regards to your Who Am I cultural identity paper. And all this information is in your syllabus, but I just want to reiterate some of it. This paper is a 4-page paper. It is important. I will say it again, it is important. I will say it a third time. It is important that you try your best to stick to those page requirements. We have a large class, and I want to try to get these papers back to you in a timely fashion with some great, or at least very good, feedback. And so it's important that we stick to those 4 pages, because the longer papers means there's more time it's going to take me to grade these papers. So please try to stick to that 4-page requirement. Your paper will start off with the introduction. Always start with the introduction. Don't just jump right in to the information. And make your introduction kind of creative to try to preview what you're going to talk about, but also engage the listener. And then also have a conclusion that maybe recaps or concludes or summarizes your paper. The bulk of your paper is going to be in 3 sections. Section number 1, you're going to highlight the many cultures, subcultures that you identify with. The great news is I had you do that Form 1 to prepare you for this. So if you said in Form 1 that you are white, female, and Christian, you may stick with those 3, or you may add a 4th. You may go with another 3. It's up to you. So you're going to highlight those cultures. And then you're going to give a brief explanation as to why that culture is important to you. So we didn't talk about this, at least I didn't require you to talk about this in Form 1, yet some of you did. So now you're not only highlighting the 3 or 4 cultures, you're going to say specifically, this is why this culture is important to me. Here's why being an African American male is important to me. So you're going to talk about those cultures and why they are important. That's Section 1. Section 2 is going to be, you're going to highlight some of the social and cultural norms and even stereotypes and behaviors and attitudes that are associated with those cultures. So if I'm talking about African Americans, I may say, well, here are some typical attitudes or values of the African American community. Some of these may even go into stereotypes. And just as a disclaimer, you're not necessarily saying you believe or don't believe these particular things. We're just saying here are some commonly held norms, attitudes, and beliefs. Alright? So you're going to talk about those for each of the culture that you specified. And then you're going to write the positive and negative aspects of those particular norms and even stereotypes. So here's some good things about being African American. Here's maybe some negative things people say about African Americans. So you're going to highlight both the positive and the negative norms, stereotypes, values, attitudes. That's Section 2. The final section, based upon those norms and attitudes and behaviors that you wrote about in Section 2, you're going to once again do what you did in Form number 1, and let's talk about how those things complement each other and how they conflict with each other. Alright? So you're going to possibly say, well, being a Christian complements being a male in these ways, but here's how being a Christian and being a man contradict each other. So the 3 sections, you're going to first talk about who you are, those cultural elements, and you're going to talk about why they're important to you. Next, you're going to talk about the norms, the attitudes, the behaviors, the stereotypes, good and bad, of that culture, of those cultures. And then finally you're going to talk about how they complement each other and how they contradict each other. So imagine if you're talking about sticking to 4 pages, you may have 3 to 3 1/4 pages from these sections. You may even do like 1 page per section, and then have a paragraph, like a large paragraph as an intro, a large paragraph as a conclusion, and then you can still have some wiggle room. And so just make sure you can shoot to 4 pages. If you want to go over 4.5 is fine. So 4 to 4.5. Don't give me 3 pages. So at least give me 4 pages. So shoot for 4 to 4.5. Please don't give me 7 pages. You can get this done in 4 and 4.5 pages. Alright? So if you have any questions about this particular paper, you can see the syllabus. If you still have any questions, feel free to shoot me an email and I'll try to get back to you as promptly as possible. I look forward to reading your papers. Take care. God bless.